again we meet. In fact, I think we're meeting the third time in the 2 days. Yesterday we met twice, and today once again. And today we are going to start this whole interesting journey. It is going to be the 6 months certificate course that Gandhi Smriti is running with the Bharatiyar University in Tamil Nadu. So today what we are going to do is to give an overview of what is nonviolent communication and what are going to be the different classes in the next 4 or 5 months time. Before, what we will do is have a final exam, because if we have to have a certificate from the university, there will have to be a final exam. But the final exam will not be subjective. It will be 100 marks multiple choice questions. So it is going to be very easy, and of course some questions will be there. I have already shared the course material with Nazi Saab. If he can share either in the WhatsApp group or through the email to all the participants, all the registered participants, the course material, you will see in the last unit, there are some questions, some assignments that are there. So those assignments will have to be put together and sent mailed to the university. The email ID of the university is there. And it is a very simple process. The whole idea, you see, of this course is to promote awareness and promote inculcation of non-violent communication in our daily life. So please don't, at the outset, let me tell you, don't take it like any other examination or any other exam, university degree that you have to do, use the rote method to learn things and all. It is how you assimilate, how committed you are, how sincere you are when you are using these tools for our communication in our daily lives, whether within ourselves, whether within the family, and also in our institutions and the society at large. This is the whole idea. Also, as Nazi Saab suggested, we can have this peace and non-violence club in the school. So after this session, what I will do is in the WhatsApp group share those different ideas that can be done as part of the club, so that we can take it forward, and we can share that this is one of the takeaway for the first session of this course on non-violent communication in the school. Friends, what is non-violent communication? What we are going to do is we will be sharing a PowerPoint, and in that we will try to do an overview of what is non-violent communication. And also I will tell you what are to be expected, what are the different classes we are going to have in the next few months time. My humble request, of course, our technical head, Mr. Pankaj, is recording all these, and we will be sharing in the WhatsApp group for for you to go back to those videos and find out, and of course read the course material that is already been shared with you. Nazir Saab, I hope I had sent you the course material.
Let me, sir, explain about what you said, because some of them may not understand the English language.
Okay.
I
Perfect,
give an
perfect.
overview, and then we can start with the course.
Okay.
I share the material on our group.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Let me turn off this. Okay. استادای محترم، حرفایی که دکتر ویدویاس گفتن خواستم برای شما خلاصه‌اش بگم. اینا گفتن این کورس اهمیت خیلی بالا داره و خیلی کسا باید ایره بخوانن، چی دیپلمات باشن، استاد باشن، در خانه، در محیط، در مکتب، در کل جا. ما شما همیشه دچار مشکلات ارتباطات هستیم و ارتباطات در زی قرن نقش بسیار مهمی را داره که ما شما اگر از ارتباطات دقیق نتوانیم برقرار کنیم، او باعث خشونت و باعث مشکلات بین فامیل و بین معلم و شاگرد و پیدا میشه. پس این کورس خیلی کورس جذاب، جالب و مفید هست و این ما با خاطر از این نمیخوانیم که شما سرتیفیکت بگیرین، چون امتحانش میگه آپشنال است، یعنی فقط 4 جواب است. او بسیار آسان است. هدف از این است که شما در این اشتراک کنین، یاد بگیرین و او را عملی بسازین در مکتب، در خانه، در محیط کار خود. و مواد درسیش بر شما قبل من در گروپ شیر کردم، به ایمیل آدرس تانم روان میشه او را میشه شما قبلا مطالعه کنین که در صنف که بیاین بر شما آسان باشه دیگه. این همه قدر صحبت هایی بود که بر شما گفتم. باز هر سوالی که بود میشه شما سوال کنین. Sir, now we can start with the group.
Okay, thank you, Nazir Saab. Thank you very much.
My
So,
pleasure.
what is exactly non-violent communication? In this 5 months, 6 months of our journey, we will try to explore its different dimensions and different ideas. In a very
Sir,
simple term.
Your video is not clear. We cannot see you. Maybe you can fix the camera.
Okay. Is it better now?
No, not still.
What now?
No, because you are not visible. Only we can see half part of.
No, full part will be difficult. I'm at
Okay.
home and
Okay.
so only
Okay.
the face. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Actually, there is no electricity, so I'm using my mobile. So that is the issue. I can't use the laptop. Yeah. Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. So basically, what is non-violent communication? In very simple terms, you see, can we have the first slide, Pankaj? The first slide? Yes. Let us start this whole course with this very apt quote of Mahatma Gandhi, who says that the world will live in peace only when the individuals composing it make up their minds to do so. That means it is on the onus is on all of us as individuals to contribute towards a culture of peace. And that is what we are trying to do. How we as individuals, whether we are Indians, whether we are from Afghanistan, whether we are from England, whether we are from South Africa, wherever, each one of us have that important responsibility of contributing towards a culture of peace. Next one, please. Also, in that context, here, it's a very important aspect of peace which UNESCO talks about. You see, as we go through this whole journey, we will talk about the different policy formulations, things related to the international aspects of peace and non-violence, and various international instruments will be shared with you. So this is an important aspect when we talk about peace, should never be taken for granted. It is an ongoing process, a long-term goal, which requires constant engineering, vigilance, and active participation by all individuals. That means it is in tune with what Gandhiji was telling, that all of us need to be an active participant of this whole process of peace. And so it is a choice to be made on each situation and everyday life decision to engage in sincere dialogue with other individuals and communities, whether they live a block or a click away. So the essence is also on the importance of dialogue, importance of engagement, importance of reaching out and participation of every one of us in this whole way of how we contribute to this culture of peace. Yes, please, Pankaj. Next slide, please. Yes. Now, here we are starting this whole idea of communication. You see, think of a situation, please reflect as we are talking. Say, for instance, you are isolated in a small island and you are the only person in that island. No other human being is there. And think of a situation, there is food to eat, you have water to drink. So 1 day, 2 days, you will enjoy the isolation. After that, you are not able to communicate. You are not able to interact with anyone. You can't communicate. You don't have a phone to do anything. You are just stranded in that island. How will you feel? Won't you feel something really frustrating from inside? You're not able to interact. And so the first axiom of communication, as a student of communication, when we go to the first ever class of communication, the first thing they say that we cannot not communicate. There is really no time in our life when we are not really communicating. We are always communicating. Also, what we are communicating and what we communicate determines our relationship. The way we communicate, we must look at this whole course as something very, very practical and something which is very, very needed for all of us to be effective and to be non-violent communicators in all our aspects. Think of a situation when you had a last fight, as we go on. where basically you could think of a situation when you had a bitter, argument with a friend, and it could actually lead to a spoiling of relationship. Also, possibly you can reach out to the others, even if you have differences of opinion, and hereby uniting the conflicting party. Also, it can make us happy or it can make us suffer. Well, let us think of a situation like here in Delhi. We are all here in Delhi, and we always, have a problem with, especially in the winters, of the air pollution. And many people suffer from different respiratory diseases and all those things. So the air that we breathe in is so important, and also the food that we take. Think of a situation when you have had a rotten food in the night and it has gone bad. It is possible that you might have a food poisoning. So you need to have healthy food, you need to have healthy air, and in that context you need to have healthy communication. Very, very important, because if we don't have healthy communication, it can really lead to stress factor, it can lead to our anger. So these are something very important things we need. The communication that we do is as important as the food that we take in or the air that we breathe in. And as I say this, I remember this beautiful book, The Art of Communicating, by the Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. In fact, why I'm sharing it today, because he passed away yesterday only, and generations across the world he has influenced, and the whole idea of mindfulness practices, mindfulness communication, and in fact this whole way of explaining in the context of the food that we take in or the air that we breathe in comes from his own idea of the art of communication. So while I say this, I'm actually giving a tribute, offering a tribute to Thich Nhat Hanh. So think of the situation when you had a fight with that. As Pankaj had, please go to the next slide. When we are talking of a situation, you had a bad fight with your close friend and both of you used foul language. Did it have an impact on you? I request anyone from the participants, if they can share, if they can unmute themselves, and one, two, let us have two views from participants on this. Like you had a bad fight with your close friend or your relative or anyone, and both of you ended up using foul language. What kind of an impact it had on you? So please, if you can raise your hand, unmute yourself, identify yourself, and please share your views on this. Please go ahead. Someone from the participants? Nazi Saab, if you can explain to them in Pushtu.
Yes, yes. Actually, if we go slide by slide, it's much better and easier to translate the things for them.
Okay, okay. So this one, if we can get some views from any participants on this. You had a
Okay.
bad, yes. And
Yes.
also you can by then translate the things which I have already shared so far in
Okay,
that.
let me share
Yeah.
that and then I'll come back to this. سلایدایی که تیر شد در اونجا دکتر ویدیاس گفت مثل که ما و شما به غذای خوب کار داریم، غذای خوب بخوریم که صحتمند باشیم، تندرست باشیم. همینطور ما شما با هوای پاک نیاز داریم که مشکلات استما یا دیگه مشکلات تنفسی را پیدا نکنیم. پس نیاز ما به ارتباطات صلح‌آمیز یا عدم خشونت در ارتباطات ما با محیط و با دوستا خیلی مهم است، یک نقش خیلی مهم داره. میگه اگر ما در ارتباطات ما، چی با مثلا استاد با شاگرد باشه، مادر با طفلش باشه، یا ما در محل کار خود ارتباطات ما اگر عدم خشونت نداشته باشه، باعث نگرانی، باعث تشویش، باعث افسردگی و استرس میشه. اگر رابطه ما در محیط کار در جامعه خوب باشه، ما دچار استرس نمیشیم، نگران نمیشیم، لذت میبریم از امو رابطه خوبی که بین پدر و اولاد و استاد و شاگرد و بین خود استادا، بین خود مردم در جامعه خیلی اهمیت داره، مهم است. و اینا به خاطر از اینکه ما شما بفهمیم که امی واقعا اهمیت داره که ما رابطه ما حرفایی که میزنیم یا نحوی که ما حتی اکسپریشن هایی که استفاده میکنیم اونا باید خیلی مؤدبانه باشه. این حالا میگن بیا که ما شما یک مثال را بگیریم، شما میشه تجربه که دارین با طفل خود یا با شاگرد خود یا با یک همکار خود که رابطه شما یعنی صحبت کردین اما درست نبوده، باعث استرس و نگرانی تشویش شما شده باشه. من خودم این تجربه را دارم، یعنی کل ما داریم، چون من میخوایم از خود شروع کنم که شما باز جرأت پیدا کنین بیاین شما هم صحبت کنیم. من فکر کنم یک هفته پیش با یکی از همکارای خود صحبت میکردم. اونا گفتن که بیاین بریم دفتر. البته من هم استاد بودم، همراه یک همکار دیگه هم استاد بود. خب من فکر کردم که مرا میگه بیا بریم دفتر بشینیم صحبت کنیم، چون برای من مشخص نبود که مرام گفتن یا تنها اما یک نفر که همراه من استاد اونا را گفتن. من گفتم که ببخشین ما هم بیایم، مرام گفتین. خب اونا گفتن نه 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 شما باشین. بسیار به یک طریقه بی احترامی. این باعث شد که من 2 روز نگران باشم، تشویش کنم، از نگاه روحی بسیار آزرده شدم. دیگه اینی در هر جا میآید. امیر اگر مثلا فرض کنین که با یک لحن بهتری میگفت که آقای یوسفی نه ما شما بدن میبینیم، من تنها میخواستم امرای فلانی ببینم، من هیچ وقت ناراحت نمیشدم و 2 روز در استرس هم نمیرفتم که چرا همکار ما با ما تو به احترامی کرد. چیزای خیلی ساده است اما خیلی آزاردهنده است اگر ما اینا رو مراعات نکنیم. به این خاطر برای ما شما مهم است که این چیزها رو مراعات کنیم. اینا کسایی که خاطره داره کدام چیزی برای گفتن داره میشه یا به انگلیسی بگن یا به فارسی یا به پشتو ما ترجمه کنم. Sir, I explained and I shared my experience. Let me say that in English by the time teachers come with their own experiences.
That's right.
I was telling 1 week ago I was standing outside of our office. One of our colleagues, he said, let's go up to my office. So it was confusing for me because I was standing with another person, and then I asked my colleague, did you ask me also to join you? Then he said, no, you don't come. So it was so disrespectful for me that for 2 days I was in stress. I was thinking why my colleague behaved like this. He could have said that, okay, Mr. Yusufi, no, we can meet some other time. I just wanted to meet so and so. So in this way, it would have been much better, the healthy relation. Absolutely. So a small behavior or a small way of talking make the relation unhealthy.
Absolutely.
So this was my experience. So I asked other teachers to share their own experiences.
Yes.
Sir, I want to share my experience. My name is Huria Nazri. And of course, whenever we have communicate with each other or with someone that are close with us, some things will be happen that will not be acceptable for us, or some behaviors that maybe it has a bad effect on us. And I had this experience several times. At the first, whenever someone told me something that was had a bad effect on me, I became so sad for a few days, and just I thought about that matter, that why my friend says me this, or in my job that I worked, someone say me something. I thought for a few days that why this happened and why they say me like this. But then I think with myself, and I promise with myself that from in my life, I should never have expect from anyone because expect from anyone because everyone have a different character, and we should know everyone from their own character. So now I don't have any expect from anyone. In this case, I'm so relaxed with behavior of anyone, and I myself think that whenever someone has bad behavior with me, so it shows their own character, and this make me relax, and I don't become sad as previous.
Oh, fine, fine, fine. Wonderful, wonderful. Now we can have more interactions towards the end. This is just the beginning. Let us go to the next slide, Mr. Pankaj. So basically here, okay, Mr. Nazi, so you suggest that possibly we do 2 slides and then you, translate. That will
Yes.
be, I think, better. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. So also here, why communication is important, that is something very important. Why? Because it helps how it, when we are communicating, it is molding our realities, it is molding our perspectives, our emotions. Also, if you will realize how it helps us to remain connected with each other. Important thing is also is that what we are communicating, it is actually the reflection of the inner workings of our mind. And in fact, friends, the most important thing to keep in mind, the most primary form of communication is our thoughts, our ideas. So if our thoughts and ideas are not healthy, we could be in trouble. Next, please. Next, please. Yes. So, hence, as we are in this situation, where there are so much of hate speech, narratives of hatred across the world. In fact, for your information, the United Nations came up with the UN plan and strategy and plan of action to combat hate speech in 2019 in June. So every society is across the world, and with the advent of the digital era, the problem is more profound, where there are so much of messages of intolerance, communication of hatred, so on and so forth. So hence, the biggest challenge of our time is how our communication ecosystem and also our inner communication, very important. Like Thich Nhat Hanh had said that peace within oneself, peace in the world. So our inner, because we are stressed, as Mr. Nazi said, he was stressed out for 2 days. So, and we remain stressed. We are always in the run. We want to achieve so much of things in a very short span of time, because of which our inner communication, there is a turmoil within us. There is a lot of stress factor, different environmental stress factor that are there because of that. So that our inner communication, our outer communication, all are dysfunctional, and because of that, it is the biggest challenge for all of us in today's world to ensure that our communication ecosystem, whether within or outside, becomes a source of positive coexistence and creation of values. Nazi Saab.
Thank you, sir. در 2 سلایدی که استاد صحبت کردن گفتن که در جهان امروزی سخنرانی های تنفرآمیز بسیار زیاد شده. شما ببینین در اروپا، در آسیا، در هر جا که میبینین بعضی رهبرای ما هستن، بعضی حتی کسایی که در اکادمیک هستن اسپیچ های میتن که بسیار تنفرآمیز است و تحقیر کننده است و گفت که ملل متحد یک اکشن پلان را سر کار داره که باید از این جلوگیری شود و مردم نتونن اسپیچ های تنفرآمیز یا کسی را تحقیر کنن، اینا را استفاده نکنن. و موضوع دیگری که استاد گفتن خیلی جالب آن بود که ما باید کوشش کنیم با خود ما در صلح باشیم. یعنی وقتی که انسان از داخل خودش آرامش داشته باشه، او آرامش بروز میکنه در محیط و در جامعه. دیگه این مهم است که ما دائم مثبت اندیش باشیم، مثبت ببینیم. باعث عظیم میشه که ارتباطات ما در محل کار و در جامعه تا در فامیل بسیار محبت آمیز میشه و بسیار ما میتونیم بدون استرس و تشویش زندگی کنیم دیگه. این هم قدر بود. Thank you sir. Next.
Thank you. Next please. Next slide. Well, as Buddha had said, that the words have both the power to destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. Very practical. If you see the words, it's so very important. It is very powerful. How we use our words and how we use our language, it can actually either heal or destroy our relationships. Next, please. Then, in fact, in the context of communication, as Gandhi was talking about, I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. So think of a situation when you had a really bad fight with, say, a friend. So, and you possibly, there was an argument with the friend and you seem to have won over the argument, and it was a bitter argument. It is possible for very momentarily, you will think that you have won that argument with your friend. But the rift in the relationship could be permanent. You could really lose a good friend because of that. So violence is never really good. As we see all across the world, a lot of conflicts, a lot of issues. Violence is never the answer. It actually leads to more violence. It leads to hurting of relationships. It leads to further conflicts. It leads to destruction of life. So it is just, if it can be said that it is good, it can be only temporary, but the problem that it creates is really permanent. And the world has seen it. History says that. Next slide, please. Yeah, no, we go to the next slide. We will talk about it later. Now, when we are talking of non-violent communication, friends, at the start here, also at the start of this course, let me underline the importance is that key. It is not that if we are doing this course of 6 months and we get a certificate from the university and that's the end of it. No. Non-violent communication ensures, and also it is not that if I am talking and possibly I can give you a magic formula A plus B equals to C and that is the end of it. No, no, no. It has to come from the heart. It has to be a deep commitment from each one of us that we will, in every situation and every circumstances, try to see how we can use the different form of non-violent communication. That is the thing. It has to be a deep commitment for myself that I will be a non-violent communicator. Also, Pankaj, Abraham Lincoln's, please. Also, the other very important thing at the outset, let me tell you, is that each one of us are attuned to using and talking and communicating in a particular way. But when we start practicing the tools and strategies of non-violent communication, it is a way which is reframing from the usual way that we talk. That is, I will give you an example which I cite in all my workshops because it's so very pertinent. You see, a few years back, this friend of mine, rather, he's very senior to me. He used to be my boss when I used to work with the United Nations volunteers, Shantam. So about 2.5 years back, I was, before, in fact, the pandemic, I was at his home. He stays in Delhi only, in Noida. So at around 5 o'clock, he wanted a courier to be sent to the courier company. So he called up his driver. So generally we will say, you come to take the packet. But he said, you see, you please mark the words that are being used. And that is the essence of nonviolent communication. He said, I hope you are not busy now. So the driver must have said no. So the driver comes. All of us would in general say like, well, this is the money and you take the packet to be delivered to the courier company. But here Shantam told his driver, I hope you will not be like in Hindi, he said, agar abhi aap जाएंगे courier लेके तो आपको कष्ट तो नहीं होगा. I hope you will not be having problems if you go now. अगर अभी आप जाएंगे तो आपको कष्ट तो नहीं होगा. See, he's talking to his driver, he's the boss. So immediately the other person, you see, when we are using non-violent communication and reframing from the usual way that we do, it can actually help in greater engagement and greater respect from the other person. And also, probably I can say it makes the other person virtually defenseless. The driver immediately said, no, 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 there is no issues. And immediately he took it. So you see the respect, the deep respect you have for everyone. That is something very, very important when we are talking of non-violent communication. It is reframing from the usual way we talk to use words and language in a way which is more engaging, which is more respectful, which really, hits the heart of the other person. Now, and that is why we have shared this important quote of Abraham Lincoln: we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. The way we put our words, the way we use our language, that is something very important. It can give greater respect, greater understanding, and greater engagement and deeper engagement with the other person. Nazi Saab.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. استاد گفتن که ما شما باید از قلب خود به دیگران احترام کنین. یعنی احترام ما باید صادقانه باشه، یعنی از ته دل باید ما برای طفل و شاگرد و برای هر کسی که داروبر ما هست باید از ته دل ما اونا رو احترام کنیم، چون وقتی که از ته دل احترام کنین اون نفر دیگه قلبش احساس میکنه که نمی شخص به من احترام داره و این باعث میشه که ارتباطات ما بسیار عالی باشه. و اینجا 3 مثال دادن. یک مثال از بودا رو دادن، گاتم بود گفته هر لغات، یک لغاتی که ما استفاده میکنیم او بسیار زیاد انرژی داره، انرژی مثبت هم داره، منفی هم داره. یعنی حالا ما باید متوجه باشیم که چی لغات را استفاده میکنیم. گاتم بود گفته یک لغات انسان صحتمند میسازه، در عین زمان یک لغات انسان برباد میسازه. پس ببینین که هر لغات چقدر انرژی داره. بیشتر مثالی که من داده بودم این بود که من استعفای خود نوشته کرده بودم از امو دفتر، صرف به خاطر یک همکار من با یک لغاتی که استفاده کرد، البته اشتباه نبود اما طریقی که امو را گفت اشتباه بود، باعث از این بود که من از امو دفتر را اعلام بدم. شما ببینین چقدر مهم است لغاتی که ما استفاده میکنیم، طریقی که لغات است ما استفاده میکنیم اونا مهم است، باید بفهمیم. مثلا من دایم میبینم مدیره صاحب بر تمام شاگردا میگن بچه گلم، دختر گلم، چقدر تاثیر مثبت داره، چقدر اون شخص خوش میشه که با احترام امروز صحبت شده. اینی چیزا رو باید متوجه باشین. یک لغات اگر شما بسیار مؤدبانه، شیرین، خوب صحبت بکنین، فردی که شما را با شما هم کلام است او شما را برای دائم احترام میکنه. اما اگر شما یک لغات دیگر استفاده کردین در مقابل کسی که با شما هم کلام است، بگین که یک لغات منفی را، او برای دائم اون لغات در ذهنش میمانه، اما ذهنیتش هم تو میشه که دیگه احترام بر شما هیچ وقت نمی داشته باشه. پس مهم است. دوم، گاندیجی، یک کوتی بود از گاندیجی گفته بود درست است ما بعض وقت راه وایلنس انتخاب میکنیم یا مثلا یک لغات را بدون از اینکه فکر کنیم میگیم چون کار ما زود شود یا عجله هستیم، اما برای مدت کم درست است کارتان شد به کسی یا کوشش نکردین یک لغات خوب را پیدا کن استفاده کنین، اما برای دراز مدت برای دائمی اگر میخواین که رابطه خوب باشه باید کوشش کنین لغاتهای خیلی خوب را استفاده کنین که رابطه تان برای دائم خوب باشه. و کوتی که از ابراهیم لینکن اینجا شیر کردن که همیالا میبینین در اسکرین، گفتن we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. ابراهیم لینکن گفته ما همیشه شکایت میکنیم که این گلها خار دارن، اما گفته ما باز لذت میبریم وقتی که امی در بین امی خاره ها گلهای خیلی زیبایی را میبینیم یا بوی میکنیم یا میگیریم. پس مشکل هست که ما بعض وقت با شاگرد خود یک حرکت را انجام میده، ما کوشش مشکل است که امروزش باز با لحن خوب صحبت کنیم، اما باید این تحمل بکنیم، شکایت نکنیم، امروزش رو به یک طریق خیلی خوب و عالی بفهمانیم. این هدف از این کوت ابراهیم لینکن بود. خدا کنه که تشریح کردم متوجه فهمیده باشین. Sir, I explained the quotes in 3 slides that you shared.
Okay. I hope you also talked about the reframing action of our words and language, isn't it?
Yes. I explained the Buddha on that, words that we choose our words.
Okay. Fine. So fine, we go to the next slide. So that means when we are using nonviolent communication, it is going to guide us to reframe our thoughts and communication. That is what we have tried to understand so far. Next slide, please. So this is again related to that. So we could go to the next slide again by Marshall Rosenberg, who is also talking of reframing. So here now we say that why do we need a strong foundation for a non-violent communication ecosystem? So far we have discussed why do we need non-violent communication. Now we are going to talk about what exactly is non-violent communication. It is easy to understand, but sometimes we need to have a finer details of things that we are trying to understand. So we go to the next slide, please. Well, we are talking of the pillars of Gandhian non-violence, which are very, very practical, which are very, very universal in nature, and something which are easy to act upon, easy to imbibe in our daily life. And these pillars are actually there in all religion, in all writings, in all cultures, whether it is the Indian culture, whether it is the Afghan culture, whether it is any culture across the world, all cultures talk about these universal pillars. So let us talk to that. And these are very, very simple to follow and yet very important to follow. And these are the building blocks of nonviolent communication. And also here at this stage, I want to underline, when we are talking of nonviolent communication, it essentially means not just communication with our fellow beings, but also our communication, our symbolic communication with the nature and all other living beings. That is something we must tell our students, because as we are going through a serious problem of environmental degradation, climate change, destruction of the habitats of all other living beings, what is very important is that how we communicate and have respect for nature, how we communicate, our symbolic communication with all other living beings. You see, we are all in this situation of this pandemic. And in 2020, I was reading this beautiful article by the well-known British primatologist, Dr. Jane Goodall. And she says that the way we human beings are destroying the habitats of all other wild animals, many of these wild animals are coming closer to the human habitat. And because of which there is going to be more transmission of different viruses to the human beings. Also, if you see the Human Development Report 2020, it talks about the Anthropocene, that is, we are in the human era. And in this era, we are the dominant species. We want to dominate everyone, right from the nature to and all other living beings. And it has actually red flagged the serious concern that human action is taking with the context of climate change, environmental degradation, destruction of and extinction of different species, both plants and animals, so on and so forth. In that context, our non-violent communication essentially entails, talking about not just communication with all other living human beings, but also the symbolic communication with the nature and other living beings. So before we talk about these 5 pillars, if Nazi Saab could explain further on this basis of non-violent communication being a holistic communication system.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. ببینین تا جایی که ما شما خواندیم ما در مورد صحبت کردیم که اهمیت و مهم بودن عدم خشونت در ارتباطات چقدر مهم است، مثال‌هایی را داشتیم. حالا ما می‌خوایم ببینیم که از دیدگاه گاندیجی اونا عدم خشونت چطور تعریف کردن. گاندیجی گفتن که عدم خشونت 5 ستون دارد. از دیدگاه گاندیجی عدم خشونت 5 ستون دارد. این 5 ستون اولش رسپکت است. رسپکت یعنی احترام به دیگران. دائم باید احترام کنیم بدون از اینکه او فرد به چی عقیده داره، به چی نژادی هست، به چی تفاوتایی که داره، ما باید احترام کنیم. این ستون اول عدم خشونت است. ستون دوم عدم خشونت از مکتب گاندی ای است که ما باید دیگران را درک کنیم، دیگران را بفهمیم، مشکلشان را بفهمیم. اگر بعضی صحبت میکنن ناراحت هستن، ما نباید عکس العمل نشان بدیم. شاید او دچار یک مشکل باشه که یک عکس العمل نشان میده، ما باید اونا را درک کنیم، نه ای که بیشتر سر از اونا عصبانی شویم. این ستون دوم عدم خشونت است. سوم گاندیجی گفتن که اکسپتنس یعنی قبول کردن دیگران. قبول کردن دیگران به معنی چی؟ یعنی هر انسان خارق العاده و متفاوت در این دنیا آمده. ما باید به این خاطر را قبول نکنیم که او مثل ما است، به خاطر ازی قبول کنیم که او هم یک فرد است، او هم یک شخص است با خوبی و بدی که داره. ما باید او را اکسپت کنیم، بپذیریم، قبول کنیم. ستون چهارم گفته اپریسیشن است. اپریسیشن یعنی از دیگران را تشویق کنیم، ترغیب کنیم. یک کار خوب را انجام میدن، دائم خاموش نشینیم. میبینیم یک عمل خوب را انجام میده، یک حرکت خوب را انجام میده، باید اونا را تشویق کنین، سپورت کنین. اینی ستون چهارم است که خشونت ها را از بین میبره. و ستون پنجم کمپشن یعنی دلسوز باشیم، یعنی شفقت داشته باشیم. نه مثلا ای که ما باید با شاگردا شفقت داشته باشیم، ما در بین همکارا باید این را داشته باشیم، بزرگا باید داشته باشن. در هر سطح باید که کمپشن باشه. اگر این 5 چیز شما در زندگی خود داشته باشین، 5 ستونه، هیچ وقت دچار مشکل یا دچار خشونت گفتاری، رفتاری، استرس اینا نمیشه اگر این 5 چیز در زندگی خود داشته باشین. و یک چیز دیگر هم راستی دکتر صاحب گفتن که ما با شما تشریح کنم. اونا گفتن ایره ما باید حتی با در محیطی که زندگی میکنیم، چی غیر از این که تنها با انسان ها ما احترام و فهم و درک و تشویق داشته باشیم، ایره ما میتونیم با تمام زنده جانهایی که دور بر ما هست میشه داشته باشیم. مثلا یک سگ میبینیم، ما باید با سنگ نزنیم. یا مثلا حیوانات هست، درخت هست، ما باید کوشش نکنیم یک درخت از بین ببریم. کوشش کنیم امی حسن نیت داشته باشیم که با تمام زنده جانها را احترام کنیم. اگر بتانیم خیر ما برسه به یک حیوان، به یک درخت، خیلی عالی است. Thank you, sir.
Oh, Acha, it seems you have also explained the slide also. Perfect.
Yes.
Great. So our deep respect for each other leads to greater understanding of each other, and greater understanding leads to greater acceptance of each other's position. And also, of course, we need to, inculcate the habit of positive appreciation of things that are going around with each other. And that is something we need to do. And of course, compassion, you have explained. Now we come to the Gandhian model of non-violent communication. But in this session, we are not going to discuss in detail because we'll have a full class. Because if we discuss everything today, then how will we continue in the next 5 months? So we will have a special class on this. So I request Pankaj to move over to the next slides. We will have a special class on this totally.
Yes.
Next. Yes. Next class. Now, you see, when we come across a new, as students, when we come across to a new term, of course, everyone understands what is nonviolent communication, but a deeper meaning of it is needed so that it helps us guide us. And you see, I have been doing a lot of research in this, reading a lot of material, both for people who have working on this at the different levels across the world. One of the best definition of non-violent communication comes from this very senior Gandhian from India. He passed away in 2018, Mr. Natwar Thakkar. He used to stay, he ran the Nagaland Gandhi ashram in Nagaland, in the state of Nagaland. So you see this particular definition and explanation of non-violent communication. With this, you will be able to understand and grasp the whole thing that we are going to talk about. It is very simple though. What he's saying is that, you see, in today's 21st century, we are talking about different forms of literacy, how we can develop critical understanding of different subjects. For instance, media literacy, critical understanding of media literacy, critical understanding of ecological issues, so eco-literacy, critical understanding of financial issues, so financial literacy, or critical understanding of cultural diversity, so cultural literacy. In this context, concerned about the way communication is happening in the world today with so much of problems and issues and conflicts, he feels that each one of us need to be non-violent communication literate. That means develop critical understanding of non-violent communication and use it in our daily lives. So you see, let us read his definition, and it is very good, self-explanatory. He says, to me, non-violent communication literacy would mean how our communication efforts should be non-violent, how our ability and capacity to communicate not only with ourselves, but with our family and society be non-violent in all aspects, and overall, how the entire process of communication, whether between individuals, groups, communities, and the world at large, should be non-violent in nature. Next slide, please, because we continue his explanation. Pankaj. He further says, this would entail deep understanding of the art and science of non-violence and its centrality in all its daily actions. It is not just verbal and non-verbal communication. Non-violent communication literacy would also include whether our thoughts and ideas are non-violent or not. You will see its detailed explanation in the course material which Nazi Saab have shared in the group. In that context, let us say, it is not just key, for instance, I'm talking very well with, say, my friend, Mr. Pankaj. But at the back of my mind, I am having some ill feeling towards him. So that is again violent communication. So it would entail both our verbal communication, our non-verbal communication, our thoughts, ideas, perspectives. It's all encompassing. So Nazi Saab, can you please share the definition?
Yes, sir. It's a very nice, wonderful definition of Natwar Thakkar. اوکی. خب اینا گفتن یک شخصی که نمایندگی گاندی را در ناگالند پیش میبره به نام نتوار تاکر. اونا یک تعریف را دادن. تعریف از اونایی است که اونا گفتن فعلا در جهان مثلا ما شما میگیم سواد اقتصادی باید داشته باشه، سواد بانکداری رو داشته باشیم، مثلا سوادهای مختلف است که ما باید داشته باشیم، اما امی موضوع ما روی سواد ارتباطات است که ما چطور اما سواد خود، معلومات خود در مورد ارتباطات بیافزاییم. خب تعریف از اینا هستند که میگم ما نه تنهایی که با خود در صلح باشیم، در آرامش باشیم. باید ما در جامعه باید با تمام جامعه در آرامش و در عدم خشونت باشیم و گفتن این چطور امکان پذیر است. این امکان پذیریش دیگه است که ما روی افکار خود فکر کنیم. یعنی یک فکری که در ذهن ما میآید که باش که من به فلانی جوابش بدم، من یک مثال میتم، باید در فکر ما باشه که نه این کار باید نکنیم. وقتی که یک فکر در ذهن ما میاد فلانی اینی کار کرد، ما هم باید این کار بکنم، اینی روی افکار و ذهنیاتی که ذهن ما در ذهن ما چیزی که میآید سر از او کنترل داشته باشیم. او را بگیم نه خیر است، اگر یک کس رابطه خوب نداشت، من رابطه خوب برقرار میکنم، من گذشت میکنم. این اگر در ذهن خود ما کنترل داشته باشیم، انسان بهتر میشیم، رابطه ما بهتر میشه. اول باید از اینجا شروع کرد. دوم گفتن ما باید با گفتار خود، وقتی که ما صحبت میکنیم با دوستا محیط در جامعه، باید کوشش کنیم گفتار ما خیلی خوب و مؤدبانه باشه، یعنی خشونت در او نباشه. سوم رفتار ما باید خیلی خوب باشه، به خاطر اگر رفتار ما، حرکت دست ما، تو اگر ببینیم بعض وقت یک اشاره را میکنیم و بسیار بی‌احترامانه میشه بر کس. اگر امور را بسیار با آرامی بگین، بفرمایید بشینین، او خیلی مؤدبانه و عدم خشونت در بر داره. دیگه در نوشتار ما، وقتی که ما یک چیزی را بر کسی، یک متن را، یک مسیج را روان میکنیم بر کسی، باید کوشش کنین او را ببینین، چک کنین که اونمو مسیجی که روان میکنین در او کدام یک لغات خونیسته که او طرف مقابل آزار ببینه. پس 5 چیز باید در نظر داشته باشیم به حساب تعریف آقای نتور، که ما باید در افکار خود عدم خشونت بسازیم، رفتار خود، گفتار خود، در نوشتن. اینی 4-5 چیز باید ما در عملی کنیم تا یک رابطه خیلی عالی در جامعه، در محیط، در فامیل داشته باشیم. Sir, done.
Fine. Okay. Wonderful. So now, friends, what we are going to do is quickly go through, the different elements of non-violent communication. And what we are going to do is, in our subsequent classes, we will cover all of these in details. And of course, you have the course material now with you. We will discuss things which are possibly not even there in the course material, because that will ensure additional understanding of the whole idea of non-violent communication. Our aim would be that during these classes, we will talk about things which are beyond the course material, so that you have additional information, additional knowledge. Also, my request to all the teachers is that how we are going to use this and tell our students, because as part of our peace and non-violence club in the school, we could promote this. We have a shortened version of this course, which can be possibly, if the students, Nazi Saab could tell us whether that shortened version, which is a simpler version, can be translated and told to the students, so that we can also imbibe amongst the students the importance of non-violent communication right from the young age, because that is something very important. It can't be that, it is something we need to nurture as part of our habits. That is something very important. We can talk about it at the end of this session. Now, quickly, we will run through those, this important elements. And as I said, we will have them as separate classes in different sessions. The first one is non-violent communication means complete lack of violence in the way we communicate with others, be it verbal, non-verbal, our thoughts and ideas, which was which was shared by Natwa Thakurji. In this class, what we are going to do, in the next class, we will talk about how different forms of aggressive communication affects us, how it leads to our, unhappiness and ill-being, rather, not well-being. So this is the first element. And also, please keep in mind, all these elements are equally important. They are interconnected, they are interlinked and interwoven. Fine. The next slide, please. The second important element of non-violent communication is our understanding of the self, self-awareness. Very important. Self-awareness, self-concept self-identity. And we are going to talk in this session, in this class, we will talk about how important it is our intrapersonal communication. That means intrapersonal communication, communicating within ourselves. And when there we will talk, when did we last meet ourselves? And intrapersonal communication consists of two things, our self-talk and our inner dialogue. So we will talk in details on these aspects of our inner communication, our intrapersonal communication. The third element is, Pankaj, Mr. Pankaj, uh, is how we can nurture deep faith in the principles of humanism and human values. All our communication efforts should point to the humanization of the relationships. Humanization process of communication is extremely important if we have to nurture ourselves into a good human beings and nurture good human values. So Nazisa, first three slide, if you could tell.
Yes. در این سه سلاید که اینا دکتر صاحب پیش بردن گفتن که یکی خو المنت اول، قدم اول باید ما کوشش کنیم که در ارتباطات ما مکمل از عدم خشونت استفاده کنیم. در امو افکار و گفتار و نوشتار و حتی ایده‌هایی که ما داریم باید این در نظر داشته باشیم. دوم، element دومش گفته understanding of the self، یعنی از خود با خبر باشیم، از مشکلات خود با خبر باشیم، از این که ما ببخشید میگن ما دو نوع صحبت با خود داریم. یکی سلف تاک است که یگان دفعه ما با خود میشینیم صحبت میکنیم، فکر میکنیم که باید فلانی اینو تو یک رفتار دارم رای ما باید چطور داشته باشم. یکی است که اینر کمیونیکیشن است که ما یگان دفعه ما یک کار میخوایم انجام بدیم اما خود ذهن ما میگه نه گذشت کنین. خودش ما شما دو نوع صحبت داریم، صحبت‌های درونی. یکی با خود صحبت میکنیم، یکی این است که اینر سلف، یعنی از درون بر ما میگن نه بیا این آدم بهتری باشه، بیا که اینی کارو بکنیم اون کارو بکنیم. یعنی روی از این مورد میگه باز صحبت میکنیم. اینا فقط المنتایش هست که هر کدامش باز جدا تشریح داره. سوم گفته element سومشان nurture deep faith in principle of humanization and values که اینجا نوشتم است. در اینجا ما باید پرورش بدیم انسانیت در وجود خود، پرورش بدیم اما human values که ما میگیم ما انسان هستیم، اشرف مخلوقات هستیم، انسانهای با حیثیت و انسانهای خوب هستیم، پس امور ما در وجود خود تربیه بکنیم. این قدر بود. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next slide, please. The fourth important element is use of appropriate and positive language. You see, it is so motivating when we use positive language in the way we speak and we communicate, and also the appropriate words that we are using. Next slide, please. Also, it entails our expansion of emotional vocabulary, the emotional quotient, very important in today's world, how we express our feeling, how we can manage our emotions. So very important, because sometimes it is possible that we may get angry because we are not able to express ourselves properly. So expansion of our emotional vocabulary. Next, please. In fact, I can share with you why important language is very important. As Desmond Tutu says, language is very powerful. Language does not just describe quality. Language creates the reality it describes. We should try to take responsibility of our action, words, and feelings and not blame others for these. So very important what we are using, how we are using the language. Next, please. And then the next important element is avoidance of stereotypes. Very, very important. Because many times we get trapped with these stereotypes. Like say, for instance, a person with disability is there. So in our back of our mind, we will have some stereotypes that the person is disabled or person is a homeless. Sometimes what happens is you're working in the street and someone's pocket has been picked and there are some street childrens around. So everyone will yell, yes, this must be the person. These must be the kids who must have picked the pocket. So stereotypes, it actually leads to a problem in our communication. So that is again, we are going to discuss at details. So Nazi Saab, next three, if you can
Yes,
share.
yes, sir. Element چهارم دکتر صاحب گفتن use of appropriate and positive language. ما باید کوشش کنیم که لغات مناسب و از یک زبان خیلی مثبت استفاده کنیم. یعنی منفی صحبت نکنیم. کوشش کنیم اگر یک شرایط منفی هم هست در او هم چیزهای مثبتش ببینیم، پوینت های مثبت ببینیم. element number 5 در element پنجم عدم خشونت expansion of our emotional vocabulary. دکتر صاحب میگن بعضی وقت ما استرس پیدا میکنیم یا نگران میشیم چون نمیتونیم اما چیزی که میخوایم رو بیان کنیم. چرا نمیتونیم بیان کنیم؟ چون ما وکابلری یا ذخیره لغات ما کم است. ما نمیتونیم اما لغاتی که باید با ما شرایط تعریف کنه نداریم، به خاطر دچار مشکل میشیم. این هم یکی از دلایل کامیونیکیشن است که با چی معرفیم با خشونت روبرو میشه. و element ششمشان avoiding stereotype. avoiding stereotypes ما انسان ها یک عادت داریم وقتی که یک کسی را مثلا فرض کنین ما اگر یک رسمان رو ببینیم میترسیم، فکر میکنیم که این مار است. یک ذهنیت داریم هر کسی که دیدیم یا یک کتاب میبینیم از آن پوشش قضاوت میکنیم که کتاب چطور هست. اینی ذهنیت ما، اینی هم یک مشکل به وجود میاره. ما یک شخص را میبینیم که با ما احترام میکنه، ما فکر میکنیم که باش که ایره و ای دیگه چی کنیم، بی احترامی هم بکنیم، فکر میکنیم که آدم ناتوان است، اما در حالی که شاید یک شخص بسیار روشن و فهمیده باشه بر شما احترام کنه، به این معنا نباشه که ما به احترامی کنیم. کوشش مایی باشه که این ذهنیت نداشته باشیم. We should not judge a book from its cover. اینی چیزی است که ما باید در ذهن داشته باشیم. Sir, done.
Okay, thank you. Pankaj, please. Then what we are going to do is, as I said, we will cover all these aspects in separate classes in detail. The next is importance of power of empathy. Very, very important, because as we are living in a materialistic world with so much of things at stake, it seems that there seems to be empathy deficit in the world. And very, very important how we can be empathetic with the people whom we work in our relationships, in our families, and also practice self-empathy. So that is something very, very important dimension of nonviolent communication. Next one, please. Compassion. We are going to talk about the importance of compassion. You see, empathy, compassion. The next one, gratitude and kindness. These are altruistic tendencies. You see, gratitude, compassion, we have already talked. We are going to talk in details. Gratitude, the habit of thanking others, and how it can help in developing a greater, engagement with the people, heart-to-heart communication when we thank the other person who has done something for us. The importance of thanksgiving. And the next slide, please, the fourth one, kindness. Why kindness matters? Kindness in our in our communication. So all these four altruistic tendencies when we are talking: empathy, compassion, gratitude, kindness. Actually, these are not just philosophical terms, but also or values. These are also, there are a lot of psychological studies which have been done and which shows that more we practice all these, the less stressful we can be. We can avoid stress. it contributes to our well-being. So each one of us, and also we must ensure that our children also tries to practice these altruistic values. It leads to pro-social behavior. It leads to an enhancement of our socio-emotional learning experiences. So empathy, compassion, gratitude, kindness. These are so very important elements of nonviolent communication. Nazi Saab.
Thank you, sir. It is really important. I'm also learning a lot of things. Thank you, sir, for developing this course. It's very interesting. خب point in element number 7 گفتن power of empathy. Power of empathy یعنی همدردی. خب عدم همدردی در جامعه ما در جهان امروزی بسیار زیاد است و در اینجا باز اینا کلشان ما روی اینا باز بحث میکنیم. هر کدام از اینا یک روز بحث کار داره و ما باید بفهمیم که همدلی چقدر مهم است در ارتباطات سالم و خوب. خیلی نقش مهم داره. element نمبر 8 گفتن importance of compassion. مهم بودن شفقت در ارتباطات خیلی مهم است. و element نمبر 9 گفته gratitude ما شما سپاسگزاری رو میگیم. وقتی انسان از سپاسگزار باشه از چیزهایی که داره. ما انسان ها یک عادت داریم که مثلا میگیم که این را ندارم او را ندارم، اما چیزهایی که داریم از او سپاسگزار نیستیم. یا یک فرد بر ما یک کار را انجام داده، بر ما احترام کرده، در مورد ما خوب صحبت کرده، از او سپاسگزاری نمیکنیم. کوشش کنیم که ما کوشش کنیم که سپاسگزار باشیم از کسی که هستیم، از شخصی که هستیم، از امکاناتی که داریم، از چیزهایی که داریم، از او سپاسگزاری کنیم تا که چیزهای خواستای دیگه ما برآورده شود. و نمبر 10 هم گفتن why kindness matters. چرا مهربان بودن مهم است؟ حالا ما شما پوینت element دومش بسیار مهم است. مهربان بودن در هر رابطه بسیار مهم است. وقتی ما مهربان باشیم با کسی، اونم طبعا مهربان است. ما احترام کنیم، احترام میبینیم. این خیلی نقش مهم داره. و استاد در پایان گفتن ارتباطات سالم باعث صحتمندی انسان میشه، باعث کم شدن استرس انسان میشه، باعث بهبود حالت روحی روانی یک شخص میشه دیگه. و به این خاطر ارتباطات سالم نقش خیلی مهم در زندگی انسان در تمام عرصه های زندگی بازی میکنه. دن سر.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Now we come to the last 4 slides of these. First is another important element is flexibility and openness in our communication. You see, most of the time problems happen or conflicts happen because we are not flexible enough. You know, there is a problem with our friend and we feel we have that ego problem that what we are saying is correct and the other person is wrong. And that actually results in further problem in the relationship. So we should try to see how flexible we can, how open we are. In fact, even in situations of extreme conflict, when there is a dysfunctional communication system, whether it is in our relationships or in our society, or even possibly at the international level, how we can remain flexible and open in our communication, because all forms of negotiations and mediations will collapse if we are not practicing flexibility and openness. Next slide, please. The other important element is connecting with needs of others. You see, we will have a very extremely exciting full session on this, because again, much of the problem happens is that I am not able to understand the need of the other person, why she or he might be behaving in a problematic way. Say, for instance, I'm having a tiff off with Nazi Saab, okay, and I am not, I feel that why Nazi Saab is talking to me like that, but I am not trying to go to the beneath the surface to try to unearth why Nazi Saab is trying to behave in that particular way. I'm not able to understand his needs. There are so many needs of ours. If they are not properly fulfilled, we might behave in a particular way. And it also happens with ourselves. There are so many, we need to also connect with needs of ourselves. Very important, because when we are talking of those issues like empathy, compassion, gratitude, we must also practice self-empathy, we must practice self-compassion, we must practice self-gratitude, self-kindness, we must be able to connect with the needs of our own needs. Because why we might be agitated, if we are able to understand that. And in the context of interpersonal disputes, if we are able to connect with the needs of the other person, it becomes much easier to handle that particular issue. I will give you a very quick example of this. I was doing a session with the judges of Delhi. So one of the very senior High Court judge was chairing the session, and she gave a very interesting example related to that. There was a court case going on between a brother and a sister, and the honorable judge felt ki why not try to see if there can be some kind of a agreement or mediation. So she called the lady to her chamber, and when she tried to understand, she felt that the lady who was elder to her brother, she possibly was not that much respected by her brother and her sister-in-law, and because of that micro small issue, it had got into such a big one that they landed in the court. So many times issue might be very small, but it goes on to become big because we are not able to connect with the needs of others. Next, please. We will try to understand the importance of active and deep listening skills. Deep listening skills, that means connecting with the heart of the other and try to listen. We must develop listening skills amongst all of us and our students so that we can do better. We respect each other. Listening skill is actually leading us to grow. It helps us to grow and also helps our own group in which we are working to grow. Next, please. We will talk about the last two slides are avoidance of moralistic judgments and negative evaluative language. Why it is important, as you are all teachers, sometimes your students have not scored well in the class. It is possible that you might say that, hey, you can't do anything. You are totally, we jump into conclusion. And moralistic judgment is actually life alienating. It demotivates. Both moralistic judgment and negative evaluative language, words like you are lazy, you can't do anything, you are totally, simply you can't do things. Like, say for instance, you are a maths teacher and your student is not able to solve the maths problem. So many times the teacher will say, oh, you are simply useless, you can't do maths, you will fail. But in the teacher says, well, I know you're not able to solve the problem, but can we work together to see how you can do better and solve the maths problem? It motivates the student. Very, very important. So these are the last few important elements which we are going to discuss. Nazi Saab, if we can
Yes,
cover
sir.
all these.
Yes. So element number 11. One element was confusing for me, avoid moralistic. Can you go back to that slide? Moralistic, avoid moralistic. Next, it is number 14.
Yeah. Yes.
Judgments. Okay, moralistic judgment. Okay, done.
We are actually, we jump into judgment. Anything happens, we quickly jump into a situation ki, oh, you are not, you are bad, you can't do anything. We don't understand the other person. That becomes a problem. So judgmental, when we become judgmental, our judgmental communication is alienating the other person.
Yes. Okay, now I explain. element نمبر 11 را میگن که ما باید در ارتباطات ما انعطاف پذیر باشیم. یعنی انعطاف پذیری در ارتباطات ما باشه و با قلب باز با دیگران صحبت کنیم. چون در اکثر جاها ما انعطاف پذیر نیستیم. مثلا یک کسی یک پیشنهاد را داره، ما چیکار میکنیم؟ میگیم نه. انعطاف پذیری نداریم که بگیم درست است، نظر شما خوب است، اگر ما این کار بکنیم اینطور میشه، یا میشه که بیره به این شکل پیش ببریم. اگر این تو یک راهی را پیدا کنیم مشکل حل است. اگر ما مستقیم انعطاف پذیری نداشتیم گفتیم نظری که شما دارین دیگه بنبست بلاک، اینی مشکل به وجود میاره در ارتباطات. ما کوشش کنیم از انعطاف پذیری استفاده کنیم. element نمبر 12 connect with needs of others. ما در ارتباطات ما یک element مهم دیگه ای است که ما از مشکلات های دیگرها یعنی مشکلات دیگرها را درک کنیم، بفهمیم چرا این همی پیشنهاد میکنه. اگر ما بفهمیم که همین پیشنهادی که انجام میده این مفید هست و را درک کنیم بفهمیم، باز او را با مشکلات خود وصل بسازیم که این پیشنهاد کرد شاید مشکل از نو حل شد اما یک کمک به ما هم داره. اگر این را ما در نظر بگیریم باز ارتباطات ما سالمتر میشه. دکتر سبیدیاس گفتن یک مثال در این مورد گفتن که یک روز یک خواهر برادر روی یک مورد بسیار ساده غالمغال کردن و بالاخره به قاضی رسیده بود که قاضی باز اینا را خواست و شاند و صحبت کرد. بالاخره فهمید که یک موضوع بسیار عادی بوده، اینا اما مشکل نفهمیدن، این به دادگاه رسیده بوده. پس میگن که اینی فهمیدن مشکلات دیگران مهم است. اگر ما مشکلات دیگران را اگر به درستی بفهمیم درک کنیم اون مشکل به سادگی حل میشه، اون دیگه نمیره که به دادگاه برسه. و element نمبر 13 active and deep listening. active and deep listening یک element 13 است که بسیار مهم است. اگر ما فعال به کسی گوش نکنیم ما مکمل حرف کسی را نمیفهمیم یا ایده‌اش را نمیفهمیم. پس مهم است که ما بسیار آرام بشینیم گوش کنیم که نفر چی میگه. وقتی که درست فعالانه شنیدیم باز ما درک میکنیم میفهمیم، یک راه حل را پیدا میکنیم. اگر ای که ما درست نشنیدیم فعالانه نشنیدیم صحبت‌هایشان حتما مشکلات به وجود میاد در ارتباطات. پس شنیدن طرف مقابل با آرامی و با فعال شنیدن بسیار مهم است. او خودش یک احترام به یک دیگه هست وقتی که ما بر کسی گوش میدیم. نمبر 14 elementش گفته avoid moralistic judgment. ببینین این را ما در کتاب ما نوشته است که به همراه استادها شریک میسازم بخیر امروز، چون استادها یک نقش خیلی مهمی را داره. دکتر ویدویاس هم گفت شما استادا یگان دفعه تمام استادا را که نمیگم در جهان تمام استادا چون اونا با طفلا سر کار داره یگان دفعه طفلا را میگه که خودت نمیتونی. یک طفل میاد میگه من میخوام که در این تیم باشه، علاقه دار. ما میگیم نه من میفهمم خودت نمیتونی، خودت در این تیم نمیگیره یا خودت در سر تخته نیا. میگه این اونا را دیموتیویت میسازه، دیمورالایز میسازه. اونها را اما جرأتشان پایین میاره، استعدادشان پایین میاره. این از این چیزا باید ما دائم کوشش کنیم که اگه یک طفل به یک مضمون خوب نبود ما نگیم که خودت دیگه هیچ به درد نمیخوری. اینشتین همونطور بود، از مکتب کشیده بود دیگه. ما نباید یک کسی را جج کنیم. و element نمبر 15 گفتن avoid negative evaluative language. وقتی که یک کسی را ما evaluate میکنیم، ارزیابی میکنیم، کوشش ما دائم این نباشه که باش که پوینت های منفی فلانی ای است انگشت شماری کنیم. نه، ما دائم کوشش کنیم پوینت های مثبت بگوییم، از منفی صرف نظر کنیم. اگر این کار بکنیم رابطه ما ارتباطات ما خیلی سالم و مفید و خوب میشه. Done, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now what we are going to do is in our different classes, we are going to talk in detail about how we can, the use of nonviolent communication in conflict management. Next slide, please. How we can handle conflicts and conflict management. Then we will talk, next slide, Mr. Pankaj. Also, we are going to, next slide again. Yes, we are going to talk about.
Finished. I think we should
Yes.
discuss with the teachers if they have any ideas for the last.
Yes. What we are going to do is we are going to cover conflict resolution. We are going to cover anger management. We are going to cover, how we can promote pro-social behavior in our different classes, overcoming stress, how it can be a useful stress buster, and how we can encourage dialogues. So now, Pankaj, let us go to and of course, we are going to have a special session on team building, how we can develop team building through, a non-violent communication. Very important, whether we are working in school or everywhere. So now we end with these two few slides. A very important slide by Dr. Martin Luther King, who says we must learn to live together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools. And the last slide is from Dr. Nelson Mandela. Very, very powerful. You see, he was staying last 27, he stayed in the jail for 27 years. So as he was leaving the gate of his prison after 27 years of in being in prison, any person would have so deep hatred and bitterness on that. Pankaj, please show that slide of Dr. Nelson Mandela. He said, as I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I would still be in prison. So very important. So the importance of forgiveness, importance of reconciliation, and what we are going to talk about in this whole journey of ours on nonviolent communication. So thank you very much. In case anyone having some points and ideas, please share now.
استادای گرامی، شما میتونین به لسان فارسی، پشتو، بلوچی صحبت کنین. من بر شما ترجمه میکنم. هیچ مشکلی نیست. اگر چیزی گفتنی دارین، چون این برنامه خیلی مهم است. حتی برای ما بسیار مهم است. من میفهمم برای کل ما مفید است. چیزهای زیادی است که ما باید بیاموزیم تا زندگی بهتر، خوبتر، رابطه ما با اعضای فامیل، برادر، در مکتب، در محل کار بهتر شود. یا اگر سوال چیزی دارین یا چیزی را نفهمیدین، میشه پرسان کنین. و یک کتاب فارسی که من نوشته کردم رو همراه شما از طریق مدیر صاحب شریک میسازم که بخوانین، چون او بعضی چیزایی را کور کرده که مثلا در لکچر آمد دیدم. دیگه بفرمایید.
با اجازه سوال داشتم. گفتم لکچری که استاد امروز دادن، ما هم میتونیم بر فرداش از لکچرهایی که دادن، چون همش آموزنده بود، به زبان انگلیسی چیزی آماده بسازیم درباره مثلا خشونت یا محبت یا ارتباط بین ریلیشنشیپ بین دو دوست یا اعضای خانواده. یعنی تنها استاد لکچر میتن، ما در مورد لکچر فقط گوش میکنیم.
نه، نظر باش که من پرسان کنم از استاد ویدویاس. سر اگر شما نام خودم معرفی کنین در اول بسیار خوب خواهد شد. استاد محبوبه نور, she is saying, is it only lecturing classes or is there any practical work that they do? For example, she is saying is it possible that we write something about relationship between brother and sister or teacher and student, something, and then we can share in the class?
In fact, it is not just going to be lectures. Also, if you see the course material, in the last there are series of assignments and all. And also, since we are working together, as and when you give all the esteemed teachers and participants can come up with innovative ideas and share in the group so that we can take them up as suggested by everyone. Though everything is flexible in our things. It is not, that what we are saying, everything will be done as a collaborative exercise, as a partnership.
Thank you, sir.
Also, my request would be, Nazi Saab, I will
Yes.
share with you the WhatsApp number of our technical head, Mr. Pankaj, who is hosting, and also Mr. Gulshan. So kindly add them in that teachers group so that they are aware of the social media things that you are doing and all. And so it would be very useful.
Thank you so much, sir. Sure, I will do that. استاد محترم باش من سوال شما رو جواب بدم از سوال خانم محبوبه نور.
تشکر.
سلامت. استاد بیدویاس میگن در این برنامه که ما شما داریم، چون ما شما روی موضوعات ارتباطات صحبت میکنیم، این برنامه کاملا انعطاف پذیر است. شما هر آیدیای که دارین، نظری که دارین که در بهبودی از این برنامه یا بر یادگیری ما شما بهتر باشه، میشه مشوره بدین، میشه در هر جا مرا بگین که شما استاد کنین که نظر خدا بتین، هیچ مشکلی نیست. چون هدف از یادگیری است، هدف از بهبود رابطه ما سرش کار میشه، شما میتونید، هیچ مشکل نیست.
استاد محترم منظور شما رو گرفتم. منظور می بود که یعنی ما مثلا بر روزیدگی که ما درس می داشته باشیم، ما میتونیم از خودم کدام لکچر داشته باشیم در مورد درسایی که آموختیم؟
بله چرا نه این مکمل پرکتیکل است، حتما میتونین. شما میشه قبل از این مثلا فردا کدام چیز را آماده ساختین، میخواین صحبت کنین، شما میشه بر ما بگین، ما مثلا بر 1 دقیقه میخواستم یک چیز را شیر بسازم، یا 2 دقیقه، 5 دقیقه، 10 دقیقه، یا بیخی اگر شما آمادگی داشته باشین صحبت کنین، برای یک جلسه را بر شما میتیم، هیچ مشکل نداره.
تشکر، بسیار تشکر. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can I speak about
انگلیسی میتونن خواهش من است که انگلیسی صحبت کنین، اگر خراب هم است پروا نداره، چون هدف از آموختن انگلیسی هم هست.
درست است.
Can I speak about nonviolent, and because that is very important, and just I know, and we must respect other and wholeheartedly, and this will make our relationship a stranger. And we must have respect, because Gandhi said, and understanding and acceptance, appreciation and compassion. We have most. Our communication we have must be economically literate, and we must have communication literacy, and to we must have respected to other, and we must have refrain from violent words. We should be thankful. That means having a healthy relationship to be healthy. Just I know. And you said to respect other from the bottom of your heart, that it springs to the person understand. Then yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
فقط هم
much.
قدر یاد گرفتم از چیزایی که امروز شما گفتین.
Thank you so much. It's so kind of you. So you have English classes from Monday. I suggest you all practice in your English class, and then you will be prepared for this certificate course. Then you can share a lot of ideas. Once you learn, improve your English in the English class, then we can discuss on different issues here. So, sir, what is the next step?
Am I audible?
Yes.
First of all, I'm very thankful for organizing such a wonderful session for us, sir. So this is Unib Dadgar, an alumni of Jawaharlal Nehru University, a member of Afghan Youth Representative, and currently working as a software engineer in New Delhi, Noida. So, sir, actually, you have discussed the 5 pillars of stress and non-violence: respect, perception, acceptance, appreciation, and compensation. Sir, the third point, which I'm a little bit confused about, acceptance. So we have to accept every situation. So now, currently, now we are living in a situation that we are not able to see some positive point in that situation. How we handle that kind of situation?
You see, what I meant to say is that when you respect each other, you see, much of the problem happens when we don't have much respect for each other. When we respect each other, it helps to greater understanding of each other's position. Like say, I have a problem with you, but if I respect you, then it becomes much easier for me to understand your position. And it helps you to understand my position. And when we start understanding each other's position, then it becomes much easier to accept each other's position. Because problem happens is that I become, with my ego problem, I say that what I am saying is correct and I don't accept to your point of view. That becomes a problematic situation. But if I have a deep respect for you, if I have a greater understanding of each other's communication, each other's position, it becomes much easier to accept each other's position. We are all human beings. We are all different.
Yes.
Also, when we are talking of our own self, our ideas and perceptions keep on changing from time to time in times of situations. So what is important is that given the fact that we are all different human beings having different ideas and perceptions, then when we respect and understand each other, it becomes much easier to accept each other's position in spite of our differences. That is what is when we are talking of acceptance.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir,
So yes,
sorry,
please.
sorry, sir, continue, sir.
No, I was saying if we don't have further, because we are going to have further discussion in the course of the next few months. Possibly all of you are requested to start going through the text and the material so that it will become much easier to understand what we are talking to say. And essentially, it is all very practical. All the things that we are talking are very practical, our day-to-day experiences, our day-to-day interactions with our family members or our colleagues and friends and all. So this is a very practical subject that we have taken it up, and it will enhance our non-violent communication skill. That is something very important. So in that context, I think we can, in case if anyone do, and also as we discussed with Nazi Saab and Principal Madam, I will, once we finish this session, I will share with you the elements of what we can do as a part of our peace and non-violence club in the school. And in fact, that is going to be a good takeaway for today's session, and we can in our respective social media accounts also share that we have started a peace and non-violence club in the school with the school and Gandhi Smriti together with the Afghan embassy. So that we can promote that. I will share with you straight away. And also, I will be sharing in the group on your views what we can do in those from February 3rd to say February 10th as part of our winter school. So that once the situation is better, all the children can come to Gandhi Smriti for the valedictory function and visit. So these are some of the important points which I thought I could share before we sign off.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. So yes, definitely we will go for the Peace and Nonviolent Club. I am sure our principal, ma'am, she is very supportive, as well as the teachers. So we will create this course as soon as possible. And it was so informative, so practical things that we discussed today. I'm so much happy. I myself learned so many things today. And let me ask Principal Ma'am if she want to say something. میدونید صد اگه شما چیزی گفتنی دارین، اینا برای ما شما پیشنهاد کردن که یک کلاب دیگه پیس نان وایلنت جور کنیم که اونا هم بتانن برنامه هایی که در مورد پیس نان وایلنت است برای از اونها کورس دیگه است که شامل از اون شوه یاد بگیرن. و دوم ای که ما شما را برای شاگردان ما یک برنامه داره از تاریخ 2 فوریه تا 10 فوریه که شاگردان کلشان برنامه‌ای که دارن اشتراک کنن. بعد از 10 فوریه بریم به گاندی اسمریتی و اونجا یک روز مکمل کتابخانه رو ببینن، آدیتوریومشان رو ببینن، یک برنامه خوب برشان باشه، برای کلشان هم سرتیفیکت داده شوه از کارهایی که در اون یک هفته یاد میگیرن.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I didn't say salam and also good morning and also namaskar. I didn't say because no time was, because 5-10 minutes I was late. Sorry for that. And that is nice program for peace and non-violent, because it's very useful for school and mostly for our teacher and mostly for me, because I'm with teacher, with the students, with outside people, with parents, and with embassy. Also, now we are connected with your people nicely. This is the communication is very nice for us, and this program in February also is good for our children, because they never gone like this. Only this 4 years in high school, one time we went to Bedel, in Bedel, just for just to see the poems and see where is that place, what is that place. But that is, we came back after that. We never gone somewhere because we had lots of for transport, for to care of children. That is but now is in February, we are happy to everything is better and can go to that place also and see. And we prepare now asking for children and for 10, 11 and 12 class. That will be good for children and also for teachers. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So in case if there is no other points, we could end today's session. Thanks to Mr. Pankaj, our technical head, for hosting the session.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you.
day.
Thank
Every
you,
day.
sir.